Hi, I'm Claire Murphy from the 5AA Newsroom, and these are the big stories of 2011. It's been a bad year for dictators, with protesters overhauling governments across the world. In Egypt, leader Hosni Mubarak was forced to resign. Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi ended up fleeing the country but was caught by rebels, shot and killed. US forces also tracked down al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden in a compound in Pakistan. They also shot and killed him. And then finally, North Korean dictator Kim Jong-il died of a heart attack, his leadership handed to his youngest son. In Australian politics, and Julia Gillard celebrated her one-year anniversary in office with yet another disastrous news poll result. Her asylum seeker offshore processing policies and carbon tax have proved to be very unpopular. She did have one good poll result though, and that is when US President Barack Obama came to visit. We lost two big characters from SA Parliament this year, with Mike Rann quietly told to hand the reins of Premier over to Jay Weatherill. He has done that, but he hasn't yet set a date of when he'll formally resign from Parliament. And then, after a second attack in a nightclub in Adelaide, Kevin Foley, former Treasurer and former Deputy Premier, decided to hang up the boots as well. He has resigned, and there will be a by-election in his seat of Port Adelaide in February. We started 2011 with shocking scenes in Queensland. Floods ripped through areas of Toowoomba and Brisbane, taking over 30 lives and leaving thousands homeless. The cleanup still continues today, those floods also hitting some parts of Victoria. Then just a month later, Cyclone Yasi touched down in Innisfail in Queensland, wiping out thousands of homes and also crops, including the banana plantation. That meant bananas went up to around $15 a kilo across the country. They've only just now come back down to under $2. There have been some major earthquakes that have hit our planet in 2011. In February, a 6.3 magnitude quake ripped through Christchurch in New Zealand, flattening buildings and taking nearly 200 lives. In March, a massive 9.1 earthquake hit the east coast of Japan. That was followed up by a tsunami which took the lives of nearly 16,000 people. Nearly 4,000 are still missing as the cleanup continues. It also knocked out the Fukushima nuclear reactors. That radiation has leaked into the ocean and surrounding area, and today there is still a 20-kilometre exclusion zone. In June, it was Southern Hemisphere travel chaos when a volcano in Chile and South America erupted. An ash cloud continued to circumnavigate the globe, stopping flights in South America, across New Zealand and here in Australia. Celebrity meltdown of the year definitely goes to Charlie Sheen. The actor had a falling out with producers of his show 2.5 Men. He's since been fired from that role. He's done several televised and online rants using crazy terminology like winning and tiger blood. He was then replaced on 2.5 Men by Ashton Kutcher, who himself has ended the year with a bit of controversy, announcing his divorce from actress Demi Moore because he's been caught cheating. Plenty of celebrity marriages and divorces this year. Arnie ended up breaking up with his wife Maria Shriver when she found out that he'd fathered a love child with their maid. Kim Kardashian married basketball star Chris Humphries. They divorced just 72 days later. Many said it was just a publicity stunt. But on a happy note, 2 billion people in April tuned in to watch Prince William walk down the aisle with Kate Middleton at Westminster Abbey. There was also some big baby news in 2011. Beyoncé waited for an awards ceremony to flash her new baby bump, that one due next year. And the Beckhams, after 4 times trying, finally had themselves a baby girl. Australian music guru Molly Meldrum had a shocker end to 2011. He was putting up Christmas lights on his house when he fell down the ladder. He hit his head on a spar and then fell down a set of concrete stairs. He was in an induced coma for days afterwards with his brain swelling and doctors having to operate. He is making a slow but good recovery. Some of the big names that we lost in 2011 include V8 supercar driver Jason Richards, who lost his battle with cancer. NASCAR driver Dan Weldon also died in a pile-up. Aussie rugby commentator David Fordham and cricket commentator Peter Roebuck both lost their lives. Steve Jobs also lost his battle with pancreatic cancer this year. He was, of course, the co-founder of Apple. Singer Amy Winehouse also lost her battle with the bottle, and Elizabeth Taylor bowed out for the final time. Qantas has spent the better part of 2011 in the bad books with both their customers and their staff, with union disputes with the Ground Staff, Pilots and Engineers Association. After several strikes, the airline grounded the entire fleet in October, leaving people stranded across Australia and across the world. That has been lifted by Fair Work Australia, but so far just one has been resolved, and that is with the Engineers Association. The euro has taken a beating at the end of 2011. The EU called an emergency meeting to discuss the European debt crisis in October. It has affected countries like Greece, Italy, Portugal and Spain. The crisis is continuing and looks set to get worse. A landmark moment for Iraq at the end of December, the US formally declaring the war there over. The final 500 US troops left the country on December 18. Michael Jackson's doctor, Conrad Murray, was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter in the singer's death this year. He was sentenced to 4 years behind bars. He is now appealing.